Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Blazing Pedals ARCA Series. Tonight, the round of 16 continues with its quest to the postseason, part of its 10th season. Blazing Pedals is all set to go from Phoenix Raceway here on Green Flag TV. I'm Justin Prince, alongside me is Emmett Crow for tonight. Dustin Ollis is our producer once again for tonight's coverage. Emmett, it's going to be an interesting night to say the very least here from Phoenix. Some short track racing continuing here with the round of 16. The question's going to be, how will things fare out as we get set in the desert?
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the biggest steps is going to be, does Dalton Kilroe bounce back from that rough week he had last week? There's a lot of answers that are going to be answered tonight. And look for tires to be a factor tonight too, Justin.
Absolutely. Let's talk about first things first, how things are going coming into tonight for the schedule. New Hampshire, of course, going to be the cutoff race next time out. Phoenix will have stages of 38 and 76 before going a full 188 laps. It's only 182 next week at the 1 miler, the Magic Mile, in the cutoff race. You also have Bristol, Darlington, Motegi, a wild card in the racing. Let's take a look at the point standings, though. This is the breakdown coming into tonight. Right now, Brian Dees is the cut line. 1 point up over Will Bruden. You have Cody Gibson, Brian Zimmerman, John Perkins also in the conversation. But Justin Levine with the biggest cushion, Emmett, coming in.
Yeah, and look at that. Chris Carroll. Let's put a circle around him because what a win for Chris last week. Just trying to build on that momentum as we head into Phoenix. Let's see if he can build on that, and just a great race between him and Justin Levine for sure, Justin, last week.
It's been an interesting season to say the very least here in this series. Chris Carroll able to pick up a spot over Dalton Kilroe, for example, last time out as well. So there's a lot to think about here. You also have a lot of pressure on the cut line side of things, not just the cushion part. Mark Arthur has a small cushion. Mark Kleinsmith has a small cushion. Trevor Harmon has a smaller cushion. You also have Cody Gibson, who's been very fast, Emmett, in general. That's below the cut line because of a bad start at Pocono.
Yeah, Pocono affected a lot of these playoff drivers. We saw a lot of drivers getting involved. Mark Arthur got involved. I mean, just one after another. So it's going to be interesting to see how tonight goes. And if you push it, or if you're just trying to have a good points night instead of trying to make that winning move. But that could also cost you, Justin. So it's really just a gamble to see if you want to save your stuff and try to advance to the next round or go for the win tonight.
Qualifying is underway. We have 6 minutes to work with in the session before we advance forward. Right now, John Perkins is the top of the board. Right now, they're running 26-second lap times at the head of the field. Tom Rasco on track, Taylor Butch Benjamin, Dalton Kilroe also. Still, you can see just how much wheel input you have to have this track. Getting some art updates about a couple months ago, in fact, part of the NASCAR refresh project, which means these drivers will have a little bit more sparkle to their Phoenix Raceway. Very cloudy, though, surprisingly. Very rare for the area here in Arizona.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how rare is it to have cloud cover here at Phoenix? You know, we're usually fighting the heat, but tonight there's going to be a lot of cloud cover. So look for a lot of downforce, and there might be a lot of passing tonight, Justin, as well, with all the downforce. It's going to be an exciting race for sure.
Cody Gibson completing the qualifying run right there. Gibson putting up a 26.693, 1/1000th off the pole to John Perkins. Dalton Kilroe started off in the 27-second bracket, heating up his tires. It's about an art form when it comes to qualifying here, too, where it's going to take a lot of craftsmanship to get the qualifying run right here for some of the drivers. Some people want to get it done on the first lap, Emmett. Some want it on the second. How do you time things up to make sure you optimize qualifying at Phoenix?
So the way you want to optimize it, I mean, this ain't the old layout that we were used to, as we see Dalton Kilroe go to the top of the boards. But this is the new layout, so you got to get into that dog leg get as much speed as you can down that backstretch, enough to get into turn 4. When you come into 3 and 4, that's when you got to get it right into that leg and try to dive it down. Try to dive in the corner right here, as you can see, as we ride on board with Trevor Harmon. He's really diving in the corner, trying to roll through the corner, get it down to that yellow line. And then I like to go down the apron, but there's a lot of speed down there, as you see right there. But that's how I would do my lap for sure tonight, Justin.
See Harmon just turning laps here at this point, ready to try and finish off the second run right here. To get up to the pole, he needs to be in the 16.6s, or 26.6s, should say. It's going to be pretty close to that. 26.9. That's good enough for middle of the road. 6th spot out of those who've qualified so far, and a lot of people are now rushing to the racetrack.
Yeah, as we see right here, Tanner Marr making his run, looking really good into the corner as he lets it roll through the corner, but then he's going to get it right up there next to the wall. That's where all the speed is. Well, actually, he's not. Never mind. I couldn't tell where he was on the track, but yeah.
Yeah, Tanner Marr right now 6th on the board. He has just had to complete the second lap. He did put on a hard charge for the first time around. A lot of people have been trying to wait for that second lap so far in this session. Will there be any change here? There is a bit of a change. 26.8 puts him up to 5th in front of Larry Bell. Mark Arthur, amongst those you can see, just taking it calm and cautiously before we start things off for his laps.
Yeah, look at him trying to get those tires warmed up. You know, if you get on the gas too soon when you roll it out on those cold tires, Justin, you can ultimately spin out right there. But look at Arthur. He's running that line, running up right next to the wall in the straightaways, and then trying to roll it through the corner. He's going to try to drift up right there. Man, almost hit the wall.
Yeah, having a bit of a harder time here, but he's up to 2nd despite that. 26.672, just about a couple hundreds off the pole to Dalton Kilroe. Can he get a little bit more in this second lap to be able to take away this top spot here in qualifying? He slid up the track, and he lost the 10th on his second time around. So it likely will come down to just Chris Carroll to determine who will be on the pole. Right now, he is on his first lap. Let's see where the benchmark is. He's in a lot of the dog leg on the build-up. 26.8. He's 7th.
Yeah, he's going to have to get up on his horse and ride right here as we see him come through the corner. I mean, get it right on that yellow line. But it'll be interesting to see. Like, Mark Arthur's line was very interesting, how he tried to slide it up next to the wall, and he found enough grip to make it stick. But look right here, he's going to use the bottom and then just try to cut the corner. Actually, he's going to go high right there.
He set a little bit faster time, but is only going to be 7th. Only Mike Massengill yet to set a time, and there's not enough time for him to qualify here. So it looks like things are just about set for your running order. Everybody using all the time here. But that's transitioning to the nighttime in session here, Emmett, trying to get as cool as a track as possible.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting when we do transition into the night during this race. It's going to be interesting for the weather as well.
Here's your starting grid tonight. Dalton Kilroe is indeed on the pole, as mentioned. Mark Arthur for Two Dudes Racing will be next to him in the running order. John Perkins, the teammate to Mark Arthur, starts next to Cody Gibson. Gibson tries to get himself out of the hole from Pocono. Then row number 3, Brian Zimmerman will start alongside Hunter Lagoons. The 27 machine keeps the retro look. Chris Carroll starts off in 7th with Tanner Marr in 8th position. Rounding at your top 10, Larry Bell, and Ty Marasco starts to his outside.
Yeah, in 11th, we're going to find Taylor Butcher Benjamin, or TBB, line up next to Trevor Harmon on the outside in the 29 machine. And then we're going to find Nicholas Moody in the Army machine, and the Sheriff machine, lining up next to Matthew Kleinschmidt in the 59 machine on the outside. Then you're going to find Mr. William Bruton in the 83 machine lineup next to Chris Mackey in that number 9 machine on the outside. And then rounding out the field is going to be the 73 of Colby Jackson in 17th position.
Mike Massengill did not qualify, should race as well. That would start him 18th position. Drivers are in the midst of a bit of a driver's meeting with Thomas Freitas, the race control for tonight. Once again, let's break things down for tonight. Your distance for this race, 188 laps total. Stages of lap distances to 38 and 76 in stages 1 and 2. 112 total laps will complete the race in stage number 3. And remember, with these drivers with their fuel limitation, 75% fuel tonight for Phoenix, which means we should see a pit stop in that 3rd stage at the very least for the field. What are some of your keys to victory here at Phoenix?
So you got to manage your tires, and if it comes down to it, this is a short track, so if it comes down to it, we've seen some great finishes coming out of that leg with both the Xfinity cars and the Cup cars. I think you got to give them the old chrome horn and try to bump and run and move them out of the way to take home that win for sure.
So, who do you think is going to get the win tonight and why?
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot, huh? Well, let's see. Last time I called Chris Carroll to win, but this time I think we're going to go with Cody Gibson right here. He's in a must-win situation, basically. Look for Cody Gibson in that Flamin' Hot Cheetos car to put in victory lane.
Let's find out how tonight goes as they all pace around. Of note, Kobe Jackson missed the starting procedure. We'll start from the pit road. Remember, this series no winning in, but it is still pivotal tonight for these drivers to score points. They want a chance to move ahead of the cut line. Happy to have you with us here on Green Flag TV for tonight's coverage of Blazing Pedals and its ARCA Series. It's Kilrow, it's Arthur, as we head to the O'Reilly Auto Parts restart zone. Green flag is out. We're underway from Phoenix.
Oh, got a car in the wall.
Back of the field. Yep, that is Massengill up into the fence. The 20 is already destroyed. Will Bruton also picking up contact. William Bruton. First lap goes to Kilrose. Now they get access to the dog leg after the first lap off a restart. But the 20 has towed. We're already down 2 cars.
Yeah, already down 2 cars. And look at this, Kilrow keeping Mark Arthur at bay, just keeping him behind him. And he's going to lead this lap right here as we come to lap number 2 of this race.
Yeah, right now, most of the field just trying to spread its wings and see where the packs fare out. But at the moment, you have Kilrow running second groove. What did you just see?
I just saw Cody Gibson get way loose, and he was sideways. I don't know how he was able to save that, but great job from Cody Gibson right there. Not to wreck.
Right now, the top 2 really taking the dog leg aggressively here. Mark Arthur preferring to wrap the bottom along the yellow line. Kilrow electing to use a little bit higher up on the banking, trying to get the power down and get a little bit more straight line speed down the set straightaways.
Yeah, look at Kilrow. Take a look right here. This is what happened to Mike Massengill. Oh, man, he got tapped by, is that Cody Gibson? Colby Jackson in the back?
No, that's William Bruton.
William Bruton. Man, so there's another playoff driver, Justin, just like we were talking at Pocono. Already have a playoff driver having trouble as Was that Taylor Butcher? But yeah, TBB hitting the wall right there.
Yeah, a few of these drivers really scraping it. Here's what happened to the back.
Oh,
right
man.
there. Hard hit. Explains why Bruden is now 6 seconds behind the leader. But all this is well. Some of the other drivers just stay in a line and try and figure out a way to make a pass. Dirty air, a big talking point when it comes to this type of racing here, even though it's a shorter track. That race is a bit like an intermediate. So hard to be able to make a move here at Phoenix. It's almost like trying to pop a bubble.
Yeah, I think back to all those Phoenix races we had with the Gen 6. And just like you were saying, Justin, it was so hard to pass. And that's why, you know, they were kind of snooze fest, really, if you think about it, because it seemed like Kevin Harvick just went out and dominated every race at Phoenix. But, I mean, looking right here, you could see when you're in clean air, it really helps. But, I mean, Mark Arthur, he was making those runs in qualifying and driving that car real hard into the corner, and it was sticking. So look for him to try to make a move on our leader, Dalton Kilrow, probably.
Followed along with Ty Marasco, meanwhile, holding on to 7th. Right now, Marasco, one of those not really using the dog leg. And there is something to mention when it comes to, depending on how the setup fares out here, Emmett. Some drivers try to avoid it because there's a lot of potential to bottom out the race car when you cut that dog leg, which, as the tires wear, can absolutely snap you around here as we see some more battling.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Justin, because, you know, you go from that banking up on the track to just a flat surface. Like as we see right there, you can also get into a wheel hop situation and ultimately go around as well. And you think, Emmett, what are you talking about a wheel hop? We're not a road course. But that's how this track is like, because you got the rumble strips. So if you get it down there, you could ultimately wheel hop and go around for sure.
Seeing Ty Marasco trying to hold on to that 7th spot. Chris Carroll trying to go for the race lead. Some apologies on the radio up front. Dalton Kilrow got tagged by Mark Arthur mid-corner. Apparently, he says he was actually coming down. So Arthur responds by trying to push him up into 3, nearly drips it.
Yeah, and Gibson is so loose, guys. Like, just looking at him on the straightaway, that car coming out of 3, coming out of 2 before you get to the backstretch, that car is wicked loose when he goes on corner exit for sure. That's something to pay attention to.
Arrow. Continuing to hold on. Let's take a look at the first contact and watch this. He left the door. Oh! I know Kilrow was apologizing on the radio a bit there, but Arthur actually seemed to put it more in there than anything else.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We're at a short track, and as Denny Hamlin said, that's just short track racing right there.
Yeah, it can happen here as Arthur is going a little bit deeper under braking here. He is sliding the rears though. Just having a hard time getting the car to grip up a little bit as Gibson, along with Perkins and Lagoons, refusing to use the dog leg right now that much. Compared to your top 2 that have been line step in that section. Kilroy's been really dialed in 1 and 2 though. It's been difficult to be able to outpace him in that section.
Yeah, it's definitely been difficult to outpace him for sure, but I mean, we look right here. Arthur gets such a good run coming out of the dog leg at the start-finish line, but Kilroy's able to throw the block and keep him at bay. Some great defensive driving by Dalton Kilroy for sure.
This choo-choo train now stretching as far back as about 9th with everyone hooked together here. Predicted some battling here. Well, right now everybody's just parading, you could argue. And here we go in Lagoons. Alonso's trying to go very deep into the dog leg. No luck there. So how difficult is it going to be now for anyone to differentiate themselves? They got fall off here. Just not a lot of side-by-side. This first side-by-side's for 12th.
Yeah, I think our crew chiefs are starting to think about that first pit stop when they're coming in for strategy. Are you going 4? Are you going 2? And what are you going to do in order to make that car more passable, as you could say, and be able to get around the car in front of you for sure.
Arthur just took a little for the race lead, by the way. He got to the door of Kilroe in 1 and 2 yet again. Outside prevailed for Kilroe, though. Look at this. Kilroe's getting very squirrely coming out of 4 now. That's 2 straight laps. He's nearly spun the car out there. Here comes Arthur.
Yeah, and as we get a good shot of this Barbie machine try to pass Kilroe right there. I mean, Dog Kilroe was just trying to break the draft of Mark Arthur, throwing some very aggressive blocks, by the way, Justin. And yeah, like you said, his car almost went around for sure.
This time a little bit more planted as they take the dog leg, touch a bit more differently this time. See Arthur just trying to respond. Now he's trying to test the higher line. There's the track conditions at the moment. Very hot air temp, as you would expect here in Avondale, Arizona. 89 degrees Fahrenheit. 94 the track temp at the moment. Expect that to drop, though, by the time it gets the night conditions.
Yeah, that is crazy that it's only 20% humidity with this overcast for sure, and it being 89 degrees outside. That's wild. What a save.
Chris Carroll having some moments, still trying to hold on to it. Right now, Carroll up only the 1 spot, but he's definitely snapping a bit loose here. These corners, one of the drivers working with 5 Kings Motorsports. By the way, there is a team championship a part of this series. Those team points have not been released since Las Vegas, though.
Wow.
So those team points were last time through being controlled by Two Dudes Racing. We'll say, teamwork-wise, Two Dudes Racing is doing a really good job in this race. P2 and 5 so far here tonight for their organization as a group.
Yeah, you got Mark Arthur, and you got the San Antonio native, Mr. John Perkins, doing a great job in the Loves machine, trying to get around Hunter Lagoons to get up there and get past Cody Gibson and get back with his teammate. I think Mark Arthur's wanting to see his teammate up there as well, pull a little Penske move like we saw in the championship finale with Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney as well.
Meanwhile, these two still fighting. 3 seconds back, everybody, but here comes Arthur. He's licking the stamp.
Trying to slide it.
Hold on. Oh, that's not going to work. Almost like a dirt track there.
Yeah, I thought I was about to be like Dale Jr. right there. Gonna be like, slide job. But no, that slide job didn't work. And now we're seeing the sun peek out, Justin. So that's going to be interesting how these cars are going to act instead of the overcast conditions that we started with.
Still side by side for the race lead. Gibson, all he can do is watch along as they continue to fight. Some good battling as we are closing up towards the end of the stage pretty soon here.
Here he goes. He's going to drive it in deep right here. Oh, man. Ooh, Cody Gibson got way loose right there.
Yeah, they are doing some good battling. Gibson, though, just had the door open up for Lagoons to try and drive underneath. John Perkins falls on behind, but the 27 trying to make one of the first passes up front. Here on lap 26. No.
Wow.
Passing's very hard here, obviously. We're still coming up to 12 to go on the stage.
Yeah, as the stage is winding down, Kilroe trying to build on those points after having that tough opening playoff race at Pocono. He's definitely trying to build on that momentum as we see Arthur, though, Arthur trying to get up there, Justin. I mean, these stage points couldn't be more important with the playoffs picture impacted.
Some battling going on amongst your top 5 now. Chris Carroll. He's trying to make the slide. Trying to make... Oh, he almost hit the inside wall, trying to cut the dog leg.
Yeah, he really turned her left right there. Almost into the inside barrier, but look at the move he was able to make finally on John Perkins. And, you know, with Justin Levine not in this race, Chris Carroll can build some points up and try to cut that cushion down that Levine has for sure.
Hunter Lagoons again trying to bottom. Again, doesn't work from the bottom of the racetrack. Get alongside under 10 laps to go on the stage. John Perkins now getting swarmed. Carroll's made his pass stick. Tanner Marr, not so easy, as Perkins may have overcooked the corner trying to hold on to the 33 spot. No, Tanner Marr just able to get a small poke underneath with the dog leg.
Now let me ask you this, Justin. When we get down to the nitty gritty, when we get down to about 2 laps to go on this stage, does Mark Arthur try to move Dalton Kilrow and win this stage to help his playoff chances?
Well, it's a stage. Do you want to wreck somebody for a stage point?
Well, I mean, not wrecking, but, you know, just give him a little boot scoop boogie. Just rattle his cage.
I don't think it comes down to a bump and run for the stage. I think for the win it might come down to it if you want it that bad. Especially since when you keep in mind, Carroll's won a lot more races compared to Mark Arthur on the season. How much so? Well, Mark Arthur coming in this season has no wins. Kilrow has 6. Big difference. And oh, by the way, this is without Justin Levine here tonight, as an Art said.
Yeah, he's trying to get that inside line to go, and I think he's going to have to get enough side draft. He's going to have to get not beat and bang with Kilrow down into the turn, but just get enough side draft. There it goes right there. That's what he needs right there.
Oh, he almost wrecked him with that move. Leaned right into Arthur's door. Kilrow and Arthur both hold on, and guess who's going to second? Cody Gibson says, enough of this. I'll just make the move, and nearly hooks himself.
Yeah, definitely. And look at this. Now he, no! What a save!
Cody Gibson got tied up. Remember, Mark Arthur's been arcing up into the corners, went side by side to push the opponent up. This time it hit the quarter panel. Gibson loses a spot instead of trying to have a battle for the race lead.
Yeah, look at Lagoons. He takes advantage of it, sitting in the weeds, just waiting to pounce. And he was sitting in the catbird seat right there, as we see right here. Just look right here. Here comes Gibson on the outside trying to make the move. The first time we've seen somebody pass on the outside. But right here, Arthur just, well, I think Gibson came down on him. I think the car came down on the track, and Arthur didn't see it at first and thought he was clear for a second. Thought he was going to keep it up to the wall, probably.
Yeah, I think Gibson in that situation was expecting Arthur to turn in a little bit earlier, but that's not been the case here tonight. Mark Arthur's not been afraid to try and use the Ray Alfala moves for the race win and the race lead. Final few laps here. Lap 36.
Man, he's on his bumper.
Coming up now, 2 to go next time by in the stage. Arthur's got the run again. Will he take a lunge?
I was about to say he's going to have to get out of the gas quick so he can roll back into the throttle and beat Kilrow back to the throttle.
Pit road is closed. Near contact. Arthur took a different angle with the dog leg. Kilrow still doing a great job holding on to the pressure.
Yeah, and Kilrow, look at that right there. He got the car past the yellow line. That got him a little loose. That allowed Arthur to close on that back bumper. Look at Hunter Lagoons right here. If these two get together, Lagoons could win the the ARCA break. Oh, my gosh.
Mark Arthur, Dalton Kilrow get into each other. Last lap on the stage. Cody Gibson has the bigger run. Gibson can't take it in. Chris Carroll tries to take third with a drift. Side by side between Perkins and Lagoons as well. Will Gibson go on a set on Mark Arthur to try and take away the stage? Coming on through, Mark Arthur. He'll take the stage in a wild finish to stage 1.
I'll tell you, Mark Arthur owes Hunter Lagoons a steak dinner for that move right there. Oh my gosh, what a move from Lagoons to set Arthur up for that win. Unbelievable.
I think really, Kilrow, I can't tell if he got loose from the contact in the middle of the corner or if he was starting to get loose and then the contact built up in the first place. They started stacking up, Emmett, pretty quickly coming out of turn 4, coming out around to that 1 to go mark.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying right here. So if we look before that, Kilrow's car, when he was coming down by pit road, Kilrow's car, the left side tires were past the yellow line, and when you get down there, it's slick. It's very slick. So I think that's what happened right there, and that's what caused Kilrow to get loose, because his tires must have spun or something, and that's what I think happened for sure.
And right here, this is exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, he was sliding. He did slide the tires.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. At 27, definitely kept the momentum going. Arthur was off the gas. Lagoons put him back on the gas.
Yeah, definitely. Man, what a move.
We'll say Lagoons did crush his front nose from that situation. Arthur, damage free. As now the clouds start to let the sun peek out again. Interesting stage so far, but we do have a presenting sponsor we'll get to in the next moment or so. This race out pit road, going to see Arthur remain your leader over Gibson. So, tonight's action is brought to you by Ohio and Indiana Roofing, a premier roofing contractor. They are a sister company to the Bruns Construction Enterprise, specializing in commercial and industrial roofing. They are committed to accommodating the unique needs of each client and offering creative solutions to meet those needs. They are also a team of individuals who work with the same common goals: professionalism, quality, and service. Services they offer include preventive maintenance, re-roof and new construction, infrared scanner, green roof solutions, metal, retrofit, emergency repair services, and more. Please visit oiroofing.com for more info. Field already doubling up for the restart here. Mark Arthur, Cody Gibson, Dalton Kilrow, Chris Carroll, your top 4 for the restart. Entertaining end to stage 1. Do we see that continue into stage 2, especially with a lot of side-by-side there, Emmett?
Well, now we have the sun as the sun started to set here in beautiful Avondale, Phoenix, Arizona. I had to think there for a minute. But we see right here, and the sun's peeking out just a little bit. So that's going to make it hard to pass because all that downforce that you had when it was overcast is gone. So the tires are going to get heated up. There's going to be a lot of rubber put on. There's less humidity. This is going to be an exciting stage 2 for sure, Justin.
This is going to be an interesting time here with the new challenger approaching to try and battle for this lead. Coming up to the restart zone. Green flag is out. Mark Arthur throwing the Dale Shaw type of move. Kilrow tries to take second immediately.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Cody Gibson. I know he got checked up right there, but I don't know if he missed a gear on the start or something, but he was way back there. But now we see he's got the momentum back, and now he's trying to get the draft from Arthur so he can get past Kilrow for sure.
Cody Gibson able to clear on by as the 12 runs away up front. Right now, Brian Zimmerman amongst those battling out with John Perkins in the heart of the field as they have not been able to single file out Perkins. Our two dudes racing machine doing a good job getting the power down though, just can't clear. Zimmerman forces it back in.
Yeah, it's Zimmerman on the inside. You know, Zimmerman was having a good run at Pocono, but then got caught up in the late race wreck. But look at Chris Carroll, able to put that 97 in fourth. You know, like I said, with Justin Levine out, Carroll can build a lot on that cushion that Levine has put down.
Absolutely here. It's going to completely change things for at least the middle of the standings. Tanner Marr, meanwhile, is back to where he started the race in 8th. Letting back time Orozco. Back up front. Perkins takes a spot back. Takes it from Chris Carroll. This is a good fire-off for the 33 up to 4th.
Yeah, the 33 having a good run. You know, John Perkins got caught up once again last week at Pocono, as many playoff drivers did. It's great to see Perkins having a good run so far, and hopefully he can get this 33 machine and bring her home in a good, if not top 5, top 3, or possibly win this race.
So right now, starting to see the side-by-sides we were expecting. Carroll seems to be really backing things up here. What's going on with the 97? He's let by now another spot go away. That is a teammate that made the pass, but why is he letting by so many spots here all of a sudden?
You know, I wonder if he's saving his tires. I know, like we said, we know they just came in for tires, but I wonder if he's saving his tires as this is a longer stage run, right?
Yeah, well, it's the same amount of laps this stage.
Same amount of laps. Okay, well, that throws that out the window. Maybe he's just trying to keep it clean, because, I mean, he's already, you know, got the big win at Pocono, and just trying to have a good points day for sure is what I'm thinking. I don't know, though, you know.
We'll say some of the others just trying to make sure their pathways go correct. Right now, seeing the 29 amongst those, trying to make some moves. Trevor Harmon. Harmon up 2 from his starting spot. Lagoons did take the time to get the repairs done on his car and has been having a bit of a harder time making up the ground since having to sacrifice track position for a new front nose.
Yeah, that's what he sacrificed. You know, he was going for that stage win, going for the lead, but yeah, just got that nose all messed up, and that's what caused him to take a longer pit stop than he wanted to.
Yeah, right now he's trying into the inside again. Outside again prevails. So hard to make a pass there, it seems. It's almost like you have to get to the outside if you want to make these moves here. Nicholas Moody, who is the highest running of those not in the playoffs, coming down pit road there. The 60 was running towards the back.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to put some strategy out, trying to get some track position ultimately. But I mean, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Justin. He's just trying to, you know, get some track position. I think he can make a gamble for sure.
We'll confirm Nicholas Mooney out of the car, out of the race. He's backed out of the race. So the strategy is going to the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready to do, what's the phrase that I can think about? Oh, yes. Have you heard of that workout where if you're on the couch, you use the remote to exercise?
Yeah.
So, in all seriousness, though, the top 2 have checked out by more than a second. Mark Arthur, Cody Gibson setting the tone in this run so far. More so Mark Arthur by half a second. Chris Carroll just maintaining 27 ones. That's actually quicker than the race leader. Problem is, he is several seconds back of the lead. 2.5 seconds is the gap between him and first. Carroll seems to be starting to find something to make sure he's got long run speed in it as he makes the move on the 28.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he's thinking this thing's going to go green, you know, past the stage. Or maybe he's thinking there's going to be contact or anything. as we ride on board with, got a shot of Mark Arthur, but now we're riding on board with Chris Carroll. Maybe that's what he's doing, Justin. Maybe he thinks there's going to be, the calm before the storm, or like just seeing what he can do on the long run. Because, I mean, he could just be doing live practice laps, seeing how he is in race trip for the long run.
Because that's actually a decent point, since with the way the stages work, the first two stages are essentially, are you good on short run speed in the series? Mm-hmm. After that point, it's, are you good at long run for the actual majority points? Surprisingly, the weather conditions haven't really changed, but the instant time, 2 times, is only at 7:02, so that should start changing soon. The lights are on above Phoenix Raceway. Oh no, Carroll hit the line. He went too low and nearly spun it out. The 10 of TBB makes the pass on the ball.
Yeah, TBB, as we see him come back into the picture, and Tanner Marr, let's see, who is that? Yeah, Tanner Marr. He was trying to take position as well, and now we see the 2 teammates of Zimmerman and as we take a look and see what happened to Carroll. Oh, man, got way loose.
Sent it too deep. Quite simply as that. Big save. It did cost him and his teammate a couple spots potentially here, absolutely though. So there goes all that tire saving that Chris Carroll was putting in the limit.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, and now it's getting really dark in here. Right now, Dalton Kilrow just moved up because what happened to the 7? Something going on with the 7. Last corner, went way up the track, turned hard left, nearly wrecked the car, and held to it. So let's take a look at the replay here, because words mean one thing, pictures are even more stronger.
Oh my gosh, what a save though. Once again, making a crazy. Oh, he hit the wall right there.
He almost destroyed the dog-leg wall.
Yeah, he did. He's got to have some dirt racing background if he's able to power slide like that, for sure.
Yeah, just lost it through the run to the dog leg and then had to stab the brake. Very lucky he didn't just destroy the wall there.
Yeah, it was definitely on the ARCA brake right there.
Yeah, good ARCA brake that time.
Yeah,
they worked.
Sure. I mean, it's a Blazing Pedals ARCA Series, so yep.
And so those pedals go to ablaze as, remember, racing to lap 76. Lap 76 will be your end of stage. That's now given Mark Arthur a 2-second lead. Arthur is a 10th quicker than the rest of the field right now. This is the best race by far the 12's driven all season long here. This could be their chance for their first win all campaign here after being close a couple times.
And does this doesn't put him into the next round, does it?
No winning in. This does get him a huge points day.
Wow, that'd be huge for 2 dudes racing. Can you imagine if these guys come back and sweep both the team standings and the driver standings? That'd be unbelievable.
Right now, Mark Arthur, the last time he finished up in 2nd or higher, Homestead in April. Since then, it's been a pattern of top 5 or top 10, then a sub-top 10 run, then you're one of those results in a row, or another top 5 or top 10 back. He's been hot, cold, all the way since April, where that was the last time he had a consecutive run of 3 races in the top 10.
Yeah, as we see right here, TBB trying to get under Gibson once again. Just trying to chase him down. Man, those cars look good under the lights for sure.
Nice, shining brightly here. About 10 to go on the stage this time by. Let's cap this though. Still green. In real life, this changes yellow. I've never seen it change color in iRacing yet.
I don't think I've seen it change colors on console either.
I mean, I will say this with the light. In real life, I've seen it turn yellow. In NASCAR 25, well, we are still waiting to see anything outside of a picture. So
Now,
it might.
They did announce that, I believe, isn't it tomorrow they're going to release the gameplay?
I believe it's this week.
It might be tomorrow, but also they released the pre-order details. And
Yes.
I'm excited.
And remember, that's the big reason why we even have the refresh in the first place here is if you're updating the graphics for the tracks for the release of the new console game, why not do it for on iRacing 2 since you're the same company?
Oh, absolutely. And then the big news, they acquired the IndyCar license, and we'll get an IndyCar game coming in the near future.
I'm very curious to see how things go with that, obviously, especially since they have to scan a brand new track in Markham. That's going to be in Toronto, for example. But that's neither here or there. Still keeping an eye on everybody's single file right now. Bit of a moment there. That's Tanner Marr having some squirrely moments. Chris Carroll looking to try and find a way around Terrell Butcher Benjamin for 5th.
Yeah, and also, Justin, Hunter Lagoons also was squarely. Can you tell me, can you define tire fall off? I mean, if people ain't watching this race, then they're missing out because these tires are definitely falling off for sure.
Not that bad in terms of lap times, though, Emmett. It's more so handling. Because the fall off over the course of this run, for some people, is 0.6 of a second. For iRacing standards, that is not a lot of time fall off. It's more so how is the grip level, it seems, for the rears at the moment. That's not impacting lap time.
How about this run from Mark Arthur, though? Unbelievable. If he's able to get at least, if he's able to win, it'd be awesome. But I mean, if he's able to get top 3, top 5, it'd be huge for that number 12 team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we'll find out about the origin about the Barbie car.
Hey, aren't you in a Barbie world? It's nothing. He has talked about it before. But it's the juxtaposition between what you expect someone will drive a Barbie car and who actually drives it. But still coming to 2 laps to go. Moratsko over Marr. And Carroll takes a poke 2. Oh, that was a little bit of a bobble from Butcher Benjamin. Held on to it as Marr now shuffles to the inside. Pit road closed.
Man, Marr almost locked it. He had to lock it up because he would have got into Ty Moratsko right there.
Right now, taking a look at what's going on amongst the top 3. John Perkins over top Cody Gibson. Nothing being done there, but Carroll will go to the apron for a moment. But as we go, it's the last lap on the stage. Final time around for Mark Arthur in stage 2. And he is officially your favorite for the win, absolutely. So he has been able to put up a dominating performance, up by a 10th a lap over the rest of the field. As will the cap this turn yellow. Green, white, checkered. Mark Arthur takes the stage. Caution.
Hey!
And it does turn colors now.
Now I wonder, of course we can't get a red flag, but I wonder if it'll turn red under a red flag.
Probably does. But
I wonder that.
I don't know how you would trigger a red flag in iRacing, but that's another conversation for another day.
I was going to say, because, yeah, even in dirt racing, when you have a sprint car flip over, you know, real life, it's a real red flag, but not in iRacing.
Instead, it's a home run.
You know
That
what's
doesn't
crazy?
make sense. Yeah, what?
I was going to say, so, you know, they have the rain system now. Could the rain, like, if it starts raining during a race on an oval, could that trigger one?
Again, to use the statement iRacing last said several years ago, it will never rain on an oval. Never, never. So the answer is no. Your top 5, by the way, was Arthur, Kilrow, Perkins, Gibson, Butcher, Benjamin, with Carroll, Zimmerman, Lagoons, Harmon, Kleinsmith, the top 10 for that stage. 3 cars out of the race, running for about 110, just under that, laps in the stage. Once we go, oh, Kilrow just got caught speeding.
Wow.
And remember, it's section to section, Emmett. If he sped on one of the sector lines, that's an immediate penalty.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a penalty. Looks like he's going to get an EOL right here. I think he was just trying to beat Arthur into the pits, trying to jump him, but it ended up costing him penalty for sure. But it's crazy, Justin. It's not a pass-through. It looks like it's just an EOL.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
If it was under green, it'd be absolute disaster.
Oh, definitely.
And so there goes the 41's track position for today. The MFRD racing machine to the tail. Chris Carroll has gone back down pit road for a second stop. So what does he know that we don't know? Well, is he trying to maybe stretch out some fuel? We'll have to see.
Maybe a little splash and go.
Has to be if he's sacrificing all the track position here to top off a second time. As you see the onboard, it's hard to see without the rev lights in view.
Yeah. I think he took a can instead of a splash. I think he took a can, Justin.
Took whatever he can, yeah. It's hard to exactly tell with the numbers, since with the ARCA it doesn't have, like in the NASCAR series, the automatic green lights or red lights in second gear. But we'll see what happens on this restart with Carroll and Kilrow now at the back. It's now the 2 dudes racing cars, Arthur and Perkins, who control the field. Coming up to the restart zone this time through. Green flag is out. Back underway, and the 12 is taking off. Cody Gibson going for second.
Yeah, Gibson trying to get second away from Perkins. What a run for 2 dudes racing tonight, for sure. You know, that's really helping them with the average, you know, for those team points. As we see Perkins try to power to the outside, getting the drafting help from his teammate for a second down the backstretch, but then loses it, and that's where Gibson's going to get his momentum. Ooh, Gibson, big loose right there.
Going to get the car to stick out of 4, and yet again.
Oh, there they go.
First time tonight we have a wreck. No caution. Trevor Harmon's the wrong way around. Ty Marasco's in the wall. Now the caution waves.
Man, tough break for Ty Marasco.
And so our first yellow for accident here tonight. The 2 of them made contact with the dog leg, as the 29 did not take the dog leg. Well, if you expect someone to take the dog leg like the one did right here, things go wrong.
Well, the thing is, we're going to have to take another... Oh, Chris Carroll, too. But no, we're going to have to take another look at that, because it looked like Larry Bell was slow, and that's what caused Tanner Marr to slow up. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, not sure about the Tanner Marr part. I know he's lost the front nose in this. Let's take a look here.
That's too far. Hardly.
At that point, Marasco just puts it in the wall, but for Tanner Marr did have no front nose. Let's see what happened now with Chris Carroll. Tanner Marr had already been involved in another incident.
And now, I'm gonna ask you this: does Carroll have any damage on that nose?
Yes, he does.
Tough break.
Now, can confirm that Tanner Marr's damage came from a separate incident at the very end of the stage on the last lap of stage number 2. This is why.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why he lost the front nose. That was existing damage before the incident.
And that's why he just lost it right there, coming out of the dog leg.
So Tom Marasco will have to come down for mandatory repairs still. See him saying he's going to be fixing damage. There he goes. So Marasco will have to take a little while to get that all fixed up. We are the one to go signal already here. With the Two Dudes Racing car still 1-2. Gibson and Butcher Benjamin 3-4. Zimmerman and Kleinsmith 5-6. Looks like Carroll's fixed the damage. He spent 46 seconds.
Wow.
So let's see, with 103 laps to go, how things go. Now with this caution period, bundling the field back up. Slow roll to the restart zone. Some big gaps behind them. Green flag is out, and this time it's more even. Didn't really get a jump at all there this time. And Mark Arthur able to hold on for now over John Perkins.
Yeah, John Perkins, great run. Two Dudes Racing, 1-2. This will be something if they're able to get a 1-2 finish today for sure.
They hold on to the bottom here. First battle is for third still. Butcher Benjamin again cannot wrap the top to maintain the one sim car. Kleinsmith now the first one on the high side trying to make things work. You can see them just trying to fan out a little bit. Try the different grooves here to see what's going to work as Gibson hits the wall.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, if I'm Mark Arthur, I don't want to see anybody except that 33 Loves machine of Mr. John Perkins. I want to see my teammate there. I think back to the old, as we see right here, contact. But I think back to the old NASCAR 06 days, you know, when you had the team communicator and you would have people, you'd have your teammate block for you. That's what I think right there, having Perkins in second for sure.
By the way, you just seen Meatball flag Tanner Marr, so Tanner Marr has been flagged from all the damage. Looks like he may have busted a gear, but everybody's trying to go 3 wide. Wow. Brian Zimmerman. He's getting a little bit brave with some of these stands, and now he's getting too loose.
Oh, man.
Just couldn't make any of the spots stick that he just picked up.
Yeah, he just drove her in there too deep and tried to make it stick, and it just did not stick at all. But it was a heck of a try on the move for sure from Zimmerman. But look at Chris Carroll, Justin. He's got some speed as he's coming up on kill row right here.
Oh, Zimmerman just lost it again. He just cannot seem to make it stay planted when side by side to the inside of another car right now out of turn 2. That car is bobbling too loose, Emmett.
Yeah, he's definitely super loose, as we see right here. Coming into the corner, when he stays side by side, that car just gets out from under him. And, I mean, props to him for even, keeping it off the car and then also from spinning out. So that car, if they could make an adjustment, which I know they can't, needs to be tightened up for sure.
So they continue to spar on out. We're almost at halfway in the race, by the way. As Kilroe is amongst those trying to regain some ground, having a hard time doing so. The field, on the long run, has been pretty even in terms of lap times throughout this race, I've noticed. There's not been that many sprint. Cody Gibson's been making enemies with the wall. But for the most part, the time delta separation is non-existent here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely isn't for sure. But look at this. I mean, Mark Arthur, it just shows what these cars can do in clean air. As we see Trevor Harmon back on pit road, trying to get that damage in that meatball fix. But yeah, look at Cody Gibson. I mean, he's driving her down. Look at that. I mean, almost on the apron. Unbelievable job.
Yeah. See that right now for the 7. Using a little bit of a higher groove as they go. Perkins a little bit quicker corner exit, but taking him up towards the wall. This whole entire field just separated by 3.5 seconds at the moment. The first major separations is where Kleinsmith is because he nearly angled to the wall. Just lost a spot to Carroll with the mistake he just made. As he boops back of the 97.
Yeah, what I was going to say, Justin, I don't know what happened because when he came out of that turn, it looked like that car just stopped for a second. So that allowed Carroll to get up to the back bumper and then ultimately was able to complete the pass.
Yeah, right now they continue to rumble around the track. Top 2 still teammates. And it becomes the question here for some of these teams here. How long do you think they can go on fuel? Because normally we've seen about 90 or so laps for some of the runs, give or take here. Maybe 100 or so on fuel. When would you decide to pit here? Because this race seems to be, outside of the one incident, trending green.
Yeah, that is a good question. You get 75% fuel, so, I mean, with 92 to go, I think, do you think they could push it, what do you think, 38 laps, I believe? So that'd be...
Well, has to be more than that.
Yeah. About lap 50, 51 to go, come in, make a stop, if you can make it that far. What would you do, Justin?
Almost split the run in half with the way things go here. Although the usual Phoenix trend in most cases is stay out unless there is stay out and hope for an incident with the tire fall off difference, but that seems to be harder to come by here tonight with this field. We'll say Kilroe trying to make a move on Zimmerman back there. Zimmerman making some mistakes. Kilroe looking for 6th, take 6th.
Yeah, what a job by Kilroe. But look at Brian Zimmerman getting that thing down like almost on that inside wall. But it really hurt him right there because Kilroe had enough speed to carry on the track instead of Zimmerman going down there. And he just did not gain any speed right there, Justin.
Yeah. Zimmerman's just not good on the bottom here tonight. They're still stacking up behind the 33 meanwhile. But with the dirty air, no one's been able to do much. Bottom's not been working in 1 and 2. It's been very hard to complete a pass unless you do it from the top here tonight.
Yeah, as we see right there, oh, sorry.
Was about to say. So how do you get this done to get to the high side to take it away here, Emmett?
I think you try to see if any guys will run up there, trying to get some rubber built up on that high side. So later on in the run, there'll be enough rubber where you can make that pass on the outside. But what I was going to say, Justin, was Lagoons got way loose on that last lap coming out of the turn down the backstretch for sure.
Yeah, 7's really swinging out there. Back of the field looks like this. Chris Mackey. New paint scheme. Oh, here we go. Hold on 1 second. Gibson licked the stamp. Nearly sent it and nearly stuck the stamp to the side of the 33. Instead, stays on behind. Now tries it again. Another lunge.
I was going to say he's going to get a good run right there because he kept it to the corner panel. But what a block by John Perkins right there to cut off the momentum from the 7 machine.
TBB now trying to go for the switch up. Take advantage of Gibson failing on his pass attempt. No, does not work on the inside tonight. And that's going to force a full reset as Mark Arthur now leads by 1.4 seconds.
Look at Lagoons trying to get over there and get the position away from, who was that? TBB right there. As Lagoons, as you see right there, Lagoons is just super loose. For sure.
Yeah, and taken loose. Gibson loses it again. Yet again, a snap to the left. Cody Gibson holds on to the race car, and Lagoons goes for the pass instead on the apron.
Yeah, and look at how many positions Cody Gibson lost all the way from P3 all the way to 7th now as TBB moves into the number 3 spot as he's able to get around Lagoons.
That car just got snapped loose. Good save. I think it just lost it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, car just hooked to the left again, similar to how he did it the first time. Lagoon's doing a good job being able to get a side by side from that. Still not able to complete the move though. Here comes Kilrow.
Yeah, Kilrow, look at this. He had the speeding penalty earlier, worked his way all the way up. Now he finds himself in P4.
And now they've got lined up here. Again, Kilrow just seems to know how to pick the spots right now to be able to make these passes. Oh, Gibson again! Cody Gibson's rear tires are shot. He just nearly spun it again.
Yeah, definitely. Man, he's just trying to limper. He might have a tire going down, guys.
Might have destroyed his rears here compared to everybody else. Things have gone disastrous. Let's take a look at the helmet cam. Just touch the yellow line a little bit and the paint can be slippery.
Yeah, especially with as bald as those tires are, you know, with that combination with the paint being slippery, it could definitely send you around for sure.
Yeah, all this is with chaos building. Kilrow having a bit of a moment there.
Yeah, Kilrow gets into the wall just a hair as he got arrow loose from the 10 at TBB. But what a move right here. He's able to drive it down, see if it sticks.
It's for third. Yes, it will. Kilrow, one of the faster cars on the racetrack, not the fastest, but he is fast enough to try and get at least a second here if he keeps picking up spot after spot. Lagoon is trying to do the same.
Yeah, and that was the thing when Kilrow got out of it. He didn't realize that he got that good of a run, and he had to slow down just a hair, and that's what checked up the 10 and allowed Hunter Lagoons to get around him.
See right now, Lagoons just popping back. Here comes the 28 for good measure. Zimmerman's been having a decent race, just cannot get the bottom of the track to work for anything. Again, that car wanted to hook around on him.
Man.
Looks like this time with the Goons getting very tight, though, he might be able to get this done. No. Goons instead just used the corner as a ramp, and Zimmerman forced off the gas. Oh, wow. Now it's become 2nd through 6th breaking away. 2 seconds the lead.
Did you see Chris Carroll almost hit the wall right there, and he was super loose?
Yeah, he is really falling off now, too, after trying to make the long run stretch previously. He is still dealing with damage, though. So Goons keeps in front of the 28. And that's the thing about this racetrack I've noticed over the years, and really in general. In the past, you could get away with some hits to the car, you know, it was about the driver. Now it's not just about the driver, it's about how well your aero is. Mm-hmm. And if you destroy this race car in any way, it can absolutely kill your speed.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll say. Mark Arthur, again, is putting a beating to the field. Now on the longest run out of anybody, obviously, with the stage cautions. 37 laps so far. According to the caution flag for his stint so far. But he is running 0.2 a lap quicker than his teammate. Kilroe's ready to make a move here.
Yeah, Kilroe's trying to make a move on Perkins, and he's going to try to drive it in way deep, trying to get to the corner panel. Oh, look at a nice little Bucky sticker on the side of that John Perkins machine right there. He's going to drive. Wow, what a drive. Did you see how low he dived bombed that corner?
Yeah, was able to use the flat of the apron to make it work. Now trying to make things stick from the high side. Perkins. Gotta be careful, that's not gonna work. Kilroe with the squeeze, able to get the pole. And he's back to second. He's recovered from the penalty successfully.
Yeah, and Mark Arthur's just hoping that this thing doesn't go green. Well, I mean, he's hoping it goes green, but he's hoping that he can get a big enough gap in front of Kilroe. And Kilroe and the 10 and the 33 will all be battling for a second so that he can drive away for sure.
See a send to the inside here. Once again, Butcher Benjamin. And people keep trying and trying that inside line. It just doesn't work, it seems, tonight. If you want to try and make a move. Pit window is open. Chris Carroll just pit. Remember, he was the one who topped off, actually. But now, he's down for an early stop.
Yeah, this is an interesting call for Carroll.
I mean, he was fading fast. Has to try something different, right?
Definitely.
It's not drawing anyone else down. No one else is taking the bait.
Yeah. I think he's hoping for a caution. Of course, I mean, if this race goes green all the way, these guys got to pit. So he could be looking really good. And if they get that caution after his pit stop, after he's out on the track, you know, it could fall right in his lap.
Yep. Yeah, Carroll might actually be in a two-stop situation, potentially. Fall-off band still hasn't even reached 1 second yet for some of the drivers on the racetrack.
Wow.
Pretty sturdy tire, let's put it that way. With this new ARCA car.
Not like last night at Bristol.
Hey, there was a lot of intriguing storylines with the tires, but we're not going to put any spoilers since people may not have their VOD set. But Butcher Benjamin still trying to find a way to take over third here. Perkins is starting to let the rear hang out a little bit. No change in strategy, though. Perkins is sending in deeper. Butcher Benjamin backing up the corners.
Yeah, Butcher Benjamin, I think he's just trying to save his tires so he can try to make this move. But yeah, Perkins is driving her in there really deep, able to keep Benjamin at bay, as we see right here. If Benjamin's able to get to that corner panel like he's trying to, he could ultimately get him in the corner and try to slide up in front of him. But John Perkins is too good in the corners for sure.
Yeah, right now that card's just falling off a little bit more than some of the others on the rears. Here comes Pickle Rick. Butcher Benjamin trying, not succeeding yet.
Oh, man.
And Lagoons might actually take a spot from him. Lagoons just took the outside from the 10. Now has an opportunity to get something to work if he can keep a pin there for 1 and 2.
Yeah, that would be crazy if Lagoons is able to take over this position after TBB was working his butt off to get it. And now if Lagoons is able to steal the fourth position away, that could be huge as well.
He's going to try it. Had to try for the inside on the switch to take the momentum somewhere. Now he takes the dog leg. Butcher Benjamin. Better pull down the straightaway with the higher line, though. Butcher Benjamin just able to carry more throttle apex speed to be able to clear back again.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming around 61 laps to go for the field here. And boy, Lagoons just slid up and this time hit Butcher Benjamin.
Yeah, and the thing about, if these cars are like how they ran in real life, if you hit that fender, you could cut that tire down of the driver next to you.
Yeah, I think the fenders are okay here, though. Lagoons, not afraid to get aggressive for the spot. Will complete the pass. Butcher Benjamin is now getting loose himself here. So Hunter Lagoons right back to a boat where he was before he got the nose damage from stage 1 earlier on tonight.
And isn't that Lagoon's teammate Brian Zimmerman behind TBB, right?
It is.
So he could try to get this position away from TBB. And if he's able to do that, then Pit Lizard Racing could be coming to the front, boys.
Could be trying here. Again, those are Five Kings Racing machines. Those then have that sponsorship. Again, one of our biggest teams in the series as a unit. A lot of members are part of their organization who do racing in various different series, including with this car. Zimmerman still not able to find a way to make some inroads, though. It just seems like it's so hard to break that cushion. Lagoons is quicker by a 10th right now. But some of these errors are locked in at 27.7s. Just locked in step, no place to go unless somebody makes a mistake. Hearing there was a mistake back in the back. Chris Mackey just had a bit of a moment where he just apologized on the radio, believed to Trevor Harmon. Trevor Harmon does have fresher tires here, as this is why. Big difference on speed, and then, well, I think they both had the same thought to go with the inside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
He is right now about to get passed by Chris Carroll as well.
Okay, so let's think about this. Mark Arthur has a 4.2 lead. If he does have to come in, he might be set, guys, to regain that lead once the cycle goes through.
Yeah, this has been a dominating performance tonight from Mark. Has some of the fastest hot laps of the race, has some of the fastest short run, has the fastest long run by far. He has just been on it here tonight by a sizable margin. Pit window is open. Cody Gibson just came down. He lasted 56 laps. So will this now be the spark for more pit stops?
That's what I'm wondering. Or could Gibson be making a move, trying to jump these guys in the pit strategy for sure?
Could be a strategy of either or, depending on what happens here. Matt Kleinsmith just came down. Chris Mackey, I think it's more so they're reaching the end of the fuel tanks. Some people going for a few lap undercut. See if they can get a jump with how equal the fall off is here tonight. Here we go. Yeah. John Perkins is coming. Zimmerman is coming down. It's getting busy down there.
Yeah, and also I was going to say, I think Perkins, he must have been slowing up because did you see the run that Hunter Lagoons came out of the corner? He was right up on the back bumper. Definitely think Perkins was almost out of fuel, guys.
Yeah, next wave, we'll see who else joins on in. Lagoons and Butcher Benjamin are coming down. And remember, it's to the yellow cone for the speed limit. It's a little bit more deeper into the safer area, in fact, than some may expect. So everyone taking the 4 tires and fuel here, making it about 58, 59 laps. There's 51 to go, so it is in the window to make it to the end on gas. Mark Arthur going as long as he can.
Yeah, Arthur. As we see, Lagoons coming in along with William Bruton, Larry Bell, and TBB. So it'll be interesting to see what happens right here as far as fuel strategy goes.
Here he goes. Able to make it 61.
Whoa, slow her down, boy.
Oh, he's got it. Actually, he's below the speed limit coming to the cone. So up front is Dalton Kilroe now. We led 36 laps so far tonight. That all coming in the opening stage. Should see him come down pretty soon because he is going to be the last of those to pick. Chris Carroll has a 7-second net advantage over the rest of the field outside of Arthur right now, by the way. So we'll see where everything cycles compared to Arthur, though, with Arthur having such a big advantage up for the front of the field. Kilroe.
I told you, I was going to say, I told you it's probably going to be lap 51 to go is when we might see these guys come in, but Kilroe's trying to stretch that.
Yeah, you remember he came down for a top off before.
Mm-hmm.
So he does have the ability to go a little bit longer here. He's got the whole field pinned the lap down. So the hope is, for him at least, get a caution flag. We'll say the net lead is close. Chris Carroll did cycle in front of Mark Arthur, but only just. And there is a big difference in the lap times. 27.6s for Carroll. Arthur about to pass for what's going to be the lead because Kilroe is in. They go back to the lead lap. Mark Arthur goes back to the lead. But Chris Carroll still has 5 seconds up over everybody else, hoping to make the time stick on the long run.
Yeah, and what a call by Chris Carroll. You know, coming in early. And, I mean, if this works out and he's able to get that P2 position finish, that's going to be a big points day for him for sure.
Huge points day, actually. Mark Arthur in a really good spot to build a buffer from the cutoff line here tonight. Them sweeping the stages and now looking to decimate the field of the race. More than 100 laps led tonight. Kilroe, by the way, has cycled behind Butcher Benjamin. But TBB has already lost a 10th of a second a lap. It's going to be a little bit faster on the short run here, the 41 is, compared to some of the others. And they have lap traffic ahead. They lost 5 seconds to Arthur, so a net loss of a second for Kilrow in the pit cycle.
That is crazy.
Cody Gibson from his early call, hoping this works out for him with those long run paces. John Perkins fell all the way to a race low 7th from the pit call. Brian Zimmerman, in fact, trying to make some moves on him. Pushing up to 33. Will the 28 make it work? Short run on the pass here with lap traffic in front of them.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to go 3 wide there for a second, trying to get Cody Gibson in the middle. But Zimmerman just too good on that bottom. And for the first time, Justin, it looked like the bottom line was coming into play for a little bit.
Right now, good job by the 33 to defend here. By the way, a change up front. Butcher Benjamin just found a pass on him come to play. Kilrow just moved up a spot in front of them. So a change has been made. Oh, wow. Perkins trying to get it on the 7. Again, that has not worked from the inside tonight.
Yeah, you just can't carry that draft, that side draft, like you could on the outside, as we see when you cut that corner.
Oh.
But, woo, man.
John Perkins nearly spun it. And Brian Zimmerman able to use the top line to his advantage. Taking advantage of the 33 getting loose. So BZ moves his way up to 7. .40 laps to go, this time by the stripe. Chris Carroll has fallen into the clutches of everybody else. So that undercut, compared to short run pace and how far back he was in the first place, not working the way he was hoping here.
Yeah, now he's just hoping for a caution to come out for sure.
He does have a bit of damage on the race car, and it's just getting eaten up here on the short run pace. Has been a swap as well, by the way, for 6th as well. Brian Zimmerman just went for a slider and made it stick in 1 and 2. Taking some lessons from Kilrow. And this time, 28 looks to find a way to gain 2 seconds to get to the next pack. They lost a lot of ground here in the cycle compared to Kilrow, Butcher Benjamin, and Lagoons. Like right now, they're just trying to get into a rhythm, close things out strong here for the next 20 minutes of racing or so before we close out the night here in Blazing Pedals.
It's going to be a good points day for all these guys, having strong runs, really good rebound from last week, all of them involved in accidents at Pocono. What a way to bounce back.
And mind you, some of the drivers that were towards the cut line not here are having horrific nights. Brian Dees in particular. It's amongst those who did not have a good night previously, and now it's not here this evening. Going to be in a dire situation for next week. Will Bruden, he's here, had an incident, started off the race. William Bruden instead. Right now, 12th at least, going to outscore some of the people he needs to outscore. Gibson in a spot where he can at least get in the top 12, you would have to think. Brian Zimmerman in this position where he's going to be close on the cut line, depending on some of the others. Trevor Harmon in a position where he's going to go downward. There's so many different factors here for these championship standings that are going to be severely impacted by the time we get to next week, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's going to be a totally different track than here at Phoenix. As we're going to the Magic Mile in Loudon, New Hampshire. It's going to be a great race. There's going to be, the thing about New Hampshire, it's so interesting how you know, you got your straightaway speed, but you got to roll it through the corner, and you could see some pretty big dive bombs going in that corner, but it's going to be a very interesting race for sure.
We'll see how the race now plays out overall once we get to New Hampshire, the Magic Mile. Track that tends to see also a lot of longer runs when you don't have a spin down the back straightaway by the inside tires. Gibson, take a look at him still. Is he going to be able to keep the rears on it this time? Every time he's had good speed here tonight, Emmett, but the car just goes away from him at a certain point, and then he loses all the spots. Then he has to just regain the composure.
Yeah, he loses a lot of time and a lot of time on these guys. And yeah, we've seen that car. I don't know how that car has not wrecked yet, because we've seen it super loose, basically wrecking loose, and he's been able to keep it off the wall and keep it clean. So props to Cody Gibson right there. But I mean, it's going to be a good points day for him if he's able to keep this 7th place finish for sure.
Mark Arthur, by the way, his lead is going down. He is catching lap traffic of William Bruden. But Kilroe is quicker. Kilroe right now reduced the gap to under 4 seconds. You see the deficit. It just has been about under a tenth the past 3 laps or so. Kilroe's slowly knocking down time, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time at the race going to get there.
Well, Kilroe's on fresher tires than Arthur too, so we factored that in. Arthur's tires could be going away. That could be a possibility. Kilroe could have found something on the track that got him a little bit more speed. So it's going to be interesting as we get down to 29 to go this time by, who's able to come away with this win.
We'll see as it's slowly but surely marginally going down. Arthur just driving on his lonesome for the most part, though, in what's been a dominant performance for car number 12 tonight.
Yeah, and this is good for Arthur. You know, he's had good runs, but he's gotten caught up in a lot of late race wrecks. So, great run for Arthur, and be interesting to see if he can pull this out and put that Barbie number 12 in victory lane.
Take a look once again at one of the battles going on. This is again Carroll going backwards. 7 drops behind Cody Gibson. The 7 moves its way up to 6th. And it just keeps sailing on back, going backwards and backwards as 33 of Perkins makes a move.
Yeah, Chris Carroll's starting to fade, and I think that damage is playing a factor. Wouldn't you say, Justin?
A little bit, but I think it's more so the tires, you'd have to say at this point, right? Because Carroll, he's running 28 4s. That's the slowest out of anybody today.
Yeah, for real.
We'll keep an eye on this. And keep in mind, Carroll definitely is in a spot where he's probably going to have to pit again here regardless. So it's going to be a bad points day for the 97.
Yeah, tough break for Carroll. Trying to build on that cushion that Levine has put down, and Levine being out of this race. We thought maybe he could build on that cushion, but it looks like it's not going to pan out that way for the 97.
Yeah. Right now, see if everything's really settled. By the way, Arthur has now gone in faster than Kilroe again, so it looks like the tires have equalized again. So even though there's 3 lap pressure tires for Kilroe, that doesn't seem to matter on the long run. but you have a car just so dialed in, being able to minimize fall off like Mark Arthur tonight.
Yeah, what a run. I mean, Mark Arthur just put together, a great run. It'll be interesting to see if he pulls this out.
Kilrow, by the way, comfortable by 3 seconds over Taylor Butcher Benjamin for second spot. Had to fight to be able to get back in this position in the first place, but here we are. A really good spot here tonight. Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Right now just trying to hold off Lagoons.
Now, do you think Kilroy's like thinking, okay, I'm in a good spot, bring her home second, have a good points day? Or, because, I've noticed that he's backed off. Well, no, now he's gaining more. But I was going to say, there for a little bit, it looked like he had backed off just a hair off of trying to chase down Mark Arthur.
Yeah, right now, see where things settle. Take a look at the 28 again. Brian Zimmerman, top 5 run now. Less than 20 laps to go in the race. And Zimmerman so far, he's been good when he's single file. He prefers this high groove. It seems to be working for the Ford.
Yeah, definitely working for that 28 USAFirearms.com Ford Mustang. Really doing a great job on that bottom line. And then when he goes up to that high side, that's where he gets his momentum and loves the line that he's running for sure.
And they all rip their way around the track. John Perkins taking a look at once again. Having a hard time building up side by sides here tonight. At this point, everyone just trying to log the laps and finish out here, Emmett.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you have to think this has been the type of race, though, where you need to be so dialed in and focused here, Emmett. What's kind of that mindset now, knowing this is where things seem to be settling down for the end unless somebody has a massive fall off?
Yeah, it really stinks as a driver because, this is at the point when you're like, okay, I need to say, for instance, Kilroy, he's running second. You don't want to burn your stuff up and cost yourself finishing a good finish. So I think you just ride around and just take your position and take your points and move on to next week.
And talking again about next week, that track, going to be also a hard track to pass at in the first place, Emmett. Focus, going to be so critical, but also it's going to be an interesting night in general where we see these drivers fare out then.
Yeah, and, Loudon, we don't think about mini races. And Loudon, Loudons are usually really long run races. So it's going to be interesting to see who's got the speed in the long runs to take home that win for sure and help their run at this championship as well.
Got right now, things look to finish out strong. Chris Carroll is pitting. So as we expected, he could not make it on his strategy for a caution flag, did not get it. So Carroll instead will finish in 12th position likely as a result of having to come down for a second time here.
Great.
Not a great finish going to be for the 97 here tonight. Coming around to what's going to be about 12 to go at the stripe for car number 12.
Let me ask you this, Justin. Who did you think was going to win tonight? Who was your pick?
It wasn't Mark Arthur, I can tell you that. I thought it was going to be Kilroe.
Yeah, I didn't think Mark Arthur was going to win it, but he proved us wrong for sure tonight.
Drivers like Gibson, who was your pick, I think showed flashes of potential up in the early stages, but the problem is just getting too loose with the rear end with the way they're driving the racetrack. It just shows you have to tailor your driving style so perfectly to this setup tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, Cody Gibson showed some great success. I mean, he still got the fastest lap of the race. I don't know how that's possible, but great run for Gibson. I mean, big rebound from, Mackey sideways right there coming down that back stretch. But great run for Gibson after coming off the horrible run and getting caught up in the wreck at Pocono. So look for him to build on this going to New Hampshire as well.
Taking a look at Chris Mackey now on the screen. His 5 Kings Motorsports machine in line for a top 10. Separating out from Larry Bell here. Very, very, very quiet night for his number 9 car here tonight, but he wanted a paint scheme that shined brightly and made sure drivers knew that he had a new paint scheme in the paint discussion earlier tonight when taking several pictures for his car.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Oh, man. They actually got the number right. It's not the 24 anymore. It's the 9. So great to get the numbers matched. Man, he is super loose, though.
Under 10 laps to go now for him to finish out. Love the detail with the Kings, though, to have that pattern that he has in the little white area. It's not just a plain white. Has that extra little detail from the team perspective. Right now, Zimmerman still trying to hold on. Gibson is again loose.
Yeah, Gibson and Zimmerman both were loose right there. I don't know if Gibson got Zimmerman air loose and Gibson got loose from the tires, but those two were both sideways.
Gibson trying it. Coming to 6 laps to go. Is that going to stick? No, it's not. So Gibson's starting to get a little bit more daring with his move attempts.
If he can just roll it through the corner.
Yeah, he's trying it. Up the racetrack. Trying to get the diamond down as Gibson gets the pole.
Yeah, just get up to that corner panel. Once you get to that corner panel, you have a shot. That's what he's trying to do right here. Gets to the back bumper. He might get him right here on the crossover. No, but he's not going to attempt it. Ooh, he had to get out of the gas right there.
Less than 5 laps to go now. Gibson is quicker right now for the top 5. But he can't find a way to actually make things work here for a side-by-side in the Great Lakes Sim car.
Just not enough. He doesn't have good corner entry. He's got good corner exit. But his corner entry is just not good enough to get that pass on Zimmerman for sure.
Good at corner exits, not good in corner entry. Zimmerman able to send it a little bit more deeper here, coming to 3 laps to go. Now slide up the track, though. Taken away, though, by Zimmerman on his line. Gibson does not want to use the dog leg right now. Now Zimmerman takes away the top from the 7. It's going to spark a side-by-side on the diamond, though. He lifted from it. 2 laps to go. This one here closest, in fact, the closest battle on the racetrack. The race leader already about to take the white flag at the far side of the racetrack. 1 lap to go for Mark Arthur. Boxing gloves are out for 5th. Gibson nearly turns the 28. Another send for Zimmerman. Now Perkins sends it in deep. Zimmerman up the track. Gibson with the cut to the inside. Side by side for the top 5 as Gibson lets it loose on the dog leg. Can he get a slide job done is the question. The question's done for Mark Arthur. Can he get the win? The answer is yes. He wins it at Phoenix in dominating fashion. But the battle for 5th is not over yet. Gibson tries it from the inside. Zimmerman from the outside. Side by side. Drag race coming up. Zimmerman gets loose. It's Gibson for 5th.
What a move. Man, that was the most exciting race for 5th.
A wild finish for 5th, but a dominating effort for 1st. Mark Arthur gets it done. The head of the field tonight here from Phoenix. Having a hard time getting the burnouts sorted out here, but it's his first win of the season, Emmett.
Yeah, and what a bigger time it could have come than now. This is going to be it's going to be huge going into Loudon, boys.
Let's take a look at the race results. Mark Arthur won by almost 6 seconds. He also threw Taylor Butcher Benjamin behind Kilroe. Lagoons and Gibson get top 5. Gibson got the edge by about 3/100ths of a second. John Perkins finished off at 7th with Matthew Kleinsmith at 8th. Christian Mackey in 9th. And Larry Bell gets a top 10 finish here, Emmett.
Yeah, and as we look further back, William Bruton had not a good day for the points. Going to finish in P11. Chris Carroll, tough break. Thought the strategy was going to work, trying to build on that cushion from Justin Levine. He's actually going to bring home P12. P13 is going to be Trevor Harmon. 14th, Tanner Marr. 15th, Ty Marasco. 16th, Nicholas Moody. 17th, Mike Massengill. And 18th, Colby Jackson.
Let's look top to bottom at the running order here tonight. Here for the Blazing Pedals ARCA Series. Just waiting on our top 3 finishers to make their way down to Virtual Victory Lane. Do have the first of our drivers standing on by. Emmett Crow is catching up with 2nd place, Dalton Kilroe.
Dalton Kilroe, man, talk about a roller coaster type of day. What could you have done different to try to get up to Mark and battle for this lead win?
Maybe not got moved out of the way at the end of stage 1, kept my track position. I knew he was faster, but at the same time, it's like we're out here trying to race for a stage win, and I had been holding him off the entirety of the time, and he just decides to get on my bumper and send me into the corner, and then not really give me a chance to save it. So, kind of sucks he's gonna race me like that, especially after what he did in HTRL at Iowa and knocked me out of the playoffs there from his lack of paying attention. But I mean, other than that, I mean, rest of the night was good. I got good stage points, still finished 2nd, but to anybody else would have been preferred. But to that old hoot, he's probably the worst person to lose to.
All right. Well, how do y'all build on this momentum going to Loudon next week?
Just kind of try to put this race behind me and realize that he's only fast once every other month at one random track and can't ever do it consistently. So shouldn't be a problem next week. And I mean, New Hampshire's a good track for me, so just try to keep the good runs going.
All right. Is there anybody you'd like to thank out there?
I think MFRD, you guys obviously for coming and doing the broadcast for us, the rest of the league sponsors, and everybody at home for tuning in.
We'll see you next week at Loudon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Justin?
Dalton Kilroe finishing this thing off in 2nd. Taylor Butcher Benjamin finished off in 3rd. Very quiet night it seemed for you. How would you describe it?
Yeah, quiet is a good way to put it. Didn't qualify the best, but just slowly, just methodically picking them up one at a time, and got a couple on pit road and a couple on some restarts, and just made sure I just didn't make any dumb mistakes out there. And the last green flag pit stop, I thought when those guys pitted before me, then that they would have a big advantage, but I guess I executed a little better than they did and came out in front of them and came in with a P3. I'm really pleased with it, considering in the past this place has not been. I haven't had the greatest luck at this track in this league, and then going to New Hampshire next week, my record in this league here is even worse. So I'm definitely glad to go into next week with more cushion over the cut line.
How difficult was it to pass here tonight, though it seemed like it was difficult to get any side-by-side built up?
Yeah, it was just like you just said, like after the restarts, after about 5 laps or so, it was difficult to pass, and saw a couple guys, including my teammate, way he was able to throw in the slide job, and kind of had to use some people up a little bit, but it's pretty cool how clean it was for the most part.
So you mentioned you're looking forward to Loudon now at the points buffer. What's that thought process now and how you're going to approach the racetrack?
Well, definitely get some practice in next week, because just for whatever reason, this league and New Hampshire Motor Speedway have just not gotten along. So hopefully, I'm just assuming as long as I don't have a major disaster, I'll be okay. But I definitely don't want to just go in there next week and putz around, you know.
Anyone want to give a shout out to here tonight?
And just everybody that does what they do for the league, my MFRD teammates, Dalton and Ty and Brian Dees, even in his absence tonight. Of course, Mark for running the league and dominating the way he did tonight. It's good to see him win. I think it's been a long time since he won. Of course, you guys for putting on the broadcast and the fans for watching.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Tara Butcher Benjamin comes away in third, but we do have your race winner now standing by. Mark Arthur, congratulations. It's your first win of the season. How are you feeling able to get yourself a victory here tonight? And as a result, a 26-point buffer to the cut line.
It feels pretty good, Chess. I was laughing at Dalton's interview because I don't know what he expected. I mean, you guys was watching it. I tried to get around him clean. I don't know how many times. Clearly, I was faster, right? But I tried, and I was clean until I got the doors. And then once I got doored a couple of times after trying to pass him, I said, "Well, I guess it's on." So used him up a little bit to get past him. But hell, it was so hard to pass. I mean, even when you had the faster car, it was hard to pass. I mean, people just hold you down, and you couldn't do anything the way this car slips and slides around with the rear end.
In your opinion here, to turn more to a positive, what just made this track click the most to you here at Phoenix? Because it's the best performance by far we've seen from you all season on the long run.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back, I think Milwaukee, I ran really well and then shot myself in the foot in the pits. And I use Loudon, I'll probably run well. Martinsville, if I was here, I would have ran well. Flat type tracks just click with me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just run them well. I guess it's the braking and the tire saving. And this track's kind of flat, right? Especially in that 1 and 2. And it's pretty flat. So I seem to excel at those tracks. I suck at super speedways. I always get in trouble. And the 1.5-milers, I'm just okay. So, but these short flat tracks, I seem to do really well at.
Absolutely. So on that note here, what's kind of the mindset now that you do have that buffer heading to the cutoff race next week?
Just try to finish the best I can. I mean, I'm like Dalton said, I am an old fart. You know, I'm turning 55 this year, so just to be able to keep up here with these, 20 and 30-year-old kids, I would call them, is that's that's pretty good in my eyes. And I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do it. So as long as I can, then that's a blast to me. I don't really care where I finish in the championship.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, I like to shout out my mom and sister. They're always watching, and they're in there every week and cheering me on. And my sister kind of goes against one driver, but I'm sure she's happy that I won, and I'm sure my mom's happy as well. And just like to thank them for showing up. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast, all the admins that helped me out in the league, and our sponsors, Ohio and Indiana Roofing, especially as a type of sponsor.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thanks, Justin.
Mark Arthur gets the win. I thank the top three for speaking with us here for post-race coverage here from Phoenix. Your thoughts tonight, Emin, as we get ready for more short track action for the cutoff race next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy race next week. What about tonight, though? I mean, Mark Arthur, just like I said, Justin, we were talking about guys who are in win situation, survive in advance. And Mark Arthur coming off the big win, going to have a lot of momentum, but we're going to see who can get a little magic on the Magic Mile at New Hampshire for sure.
That'll be September the 21st. Once again, a 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time start. You can catch that from Loudon, New Hampshire, here on Green Flag TV. But on that note, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage of Blazing Pedals and its ARCA Series. For my co-announcer, Emmett Crow, for producer, Dustin Ollis, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching Blazing Pedals from Avondale, Arizona, and the virtual Phoenix Raceway and iRacing.